Education, according to Wikipedia, is the process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, moral beliefs, habits, and personal development. Little kids are the major spectators of education. Over the years, there has been a transition in the Kenyan education system since 1967. The current newly introduced, known as the CBC, competency-based curriculum, was set to replace the former 844 system. The system was introduced in 2017 and was researched and developed by the Kenyan Institute of Curriculum Development. We shall be talking about the earlier education in the CBC and assess parents, teachers, and students' attitude towards this new and unfamiliar system. Education consists of pre-primary and lower primary. The pre-primary takes about a period of 2 years, PP1 and PP2. A learner enters the education system at a minimum age of 4 years old. This was what was used to be referred to as nursery in the previous 844 system. After pre-primary, the learner enters the grade level, which consists of grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3. In order to proceed from the earlier education, the student will sit for a neck examination, which will determine if they should proceed to the next level.
Anne using your cards. Who has Anne on the cards? I am stumbling for that as you point. The word? Anne. The word Anne. Good girl.
We interviewed a group of parents and asked them about what they think of this new system compared to the previous 844 system.
Mimi niko na mtoto wa grade 5. Huyu mtoto wangu vile wanasomanga, ninaonaga kuna vitu zinabo. Hii ya kusema ati kuna meeting expectation, below average sijui nini. Hizo zinaboingi juu mtu ajuagi mtoto wake vile anafanya. Kama ile ya kitambo ilikuanga mzuri, juu ulikuwa unajua mtoto ako position gani, anaenda mbele ama anarudi nyuma. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio unajua sasa mtu ajuangi mtoto anaendelea aje. Yenyewe hii ya saa hii iko sawa, juu mtoto ako na mambo mingi anafanya, anajua kujifanyia. Lakini ile ya kitambo haikuanga hivyo. Naona kama ni kufagia, wanafagia, mtoto anaambiwa atengeneze kitu anatengeneza. Wanaambiwa atengeneze scarecrow wanajua, wanaambiwa gari nini na wanajua. Lakini ile ya kitabu haikuanga hivyo. Isipokuwa hapa kwa max na nini iko sawa. Juu hata wanapewa homework hata ya simu, unaambiwa ugungu, unapea mtoto anagugu na anakuwa sawa, anajua kila kitu. Sasa unajua homework hawapewagi homework ya kitambo. Wanapewa ya kufanya kakitu. Sasa watengeneze kakitu. Hivyo heri wangekuwa anawapea homework ya kitambo ndio at least wafanye kakitu jioni. Jua ya kitambo sasa ni maswali tu, anajibu akisidwa anakuuliza. Lakini hii ni kitu anaona real, anatengeneza. Iko sawa hii. Unajua sasa hii iko na expenses mingi. Unajua kitu mtoto akiitishwa na una pesa utafanya nini? Ile ya kitambo ni ya kufanya na kitabu au kuwa unaambiwa nunua kitu. Kama hii sasa mtoto aambiwe aende na sabuni, aende na lagi ya viatu, aende na brush na labda hauna kwa nyumba utafanya nini? Na hauna pesa. Haya, hii nayo ya simu, hii ya kugugu kwa simu, kuna mzazi ana touch phone. Sasa ako na hii ingine ya kufinya utafanya nini? Unaona mtoto kuna zingine anapitwa. Mimi kama ni mimi niulizwe eli iendelee.
Naitwa Victoria na mtoto wangu ako Ruiru Mercy Education Center. Na system imekuwa nzuri, ako PP2 na system si mbaya, wanajifunza vitu mingi. CBC si mbaya, ni nzuri kwa sababu anajifunza vitu mingi. Anaweza kuja na kitu mpya yenye haujui, na kulingana na vile amefunzwa anakuonyesha. Hata wewe kama mzazi unapata ya kwamba hata wewe kuna vitu umejifunza zenye uko unajua. Inaleta interaction katikati ya mzazi na mtoto, na pia ina keep mtoto akiwa busy. Unaweza pata mtoto hajaenda kujihusisha na vitu mbaya kule nje. Hata hiyo ranking ndio ulikuwa unapata watu wanaiba mitihani kwa sababu ya anataka that ranking, unaona? Lakini hii ni potential ya mtoto. Hata kama atakuwa ranked, lakini ile potential, ile kitu yenye atakuwa amefanya kupitia kwa nguvu zake mwenyewe, kitu amepata akiwa halali, hiyo ni kitu mzuri kuliko that ranking unapata wameiba mitihani na vitu mbaya. Vitu kama hizo si kitu mbaya. Si hata 844 tulikuwa tunaitishwa school fees na vitu kama hizo, na si expensive. Si wewe kama mzazi unajipanga tu, inakuwa unaweka vitu zikiwa neutral.
We also visited a local school, Stemeridge Junior School, and interviewed the teachers on the big change in the education system.
The head teacher of Stemeridge Junior School, and this is our second year, and we thank God for the progress. Before the curriculum started, I saw the need of starting the new curriculum, because using the new curriculum, you get a kid that is grown up holistically, not just academically as the 844 used to be. Plus, there are so many competencies that these kids are getting from the CBC, so I feel it's the best curriculum to use. Yes, since the curriculum introduced, I've done so many things to ensure that the CBC is well implemented, like adding new infrastructures, and again, introduction of new materials that the kids are using plus the teachers, and also the learning materials that we used to use before using the 844, we have slightly changed to fit in the new curriculum. Yeah, since we started, in the beginning it was like the parents were not really comfortable. Now that we are requesting them to work with the kids, so they are like reluctant, but so far so good. They have adapted and they are good. The teachers the same. As we were beginning, it was kind of tiresome and so involving, but with the passion that my teachers have, they are very comfortable with the new CBC. Time is limited. They've not been given enough time. Keeping in mind we are rushing with time, and the fact that we had COVID here, and now that we resumed back in 2021, it's like the time is so limited, and so the teachers are overwhelmed with what they are doing. But I think they still need more of involvement and more training, because they're not really grounded on the CBC. Some are still getting back to 844. Yeah. With the new curriculum, they have really improved. From what I'm getting maybe from the parents, the kids are really assisting them at home, because you've taught them so many values and so many core values that they are practicing at home. They are assisting their parents, unlike before, whereby they were kids, as in they were only to go home, do their homework and the like. But this time around, there are some things, there are some activities they are supposed to do at home, whereby the activities are really helping the kids and the parents in different ways. Yeah. I'm happy that I started the school when it is already the CBC way, because transiting from the 844 to CBC could have been hectic to some schools. But for me, I feel I'm okay, because there are not so many introduction of so many things. It's like I implemented what is expected for the CBC to progress. Again, I'm grateful, and I'm also happy that whatever we are doing, it's not just for us, it's for the society, and you're bringing up a society whereby they are responsible, unlike before they are academically based, whereby without books they can't go far. But now we are bringing up a generation whereby they are ready to work, they are ready to do manual jobs, because we've done like planting in the school, we are doing like washing of the dishes and such things. So they are holistically growing. So maybe I'm happy for the CBC. I've had so many complaints or such, but I'm trying to explain to them that before we used to rate the kids and there was a lot of competition. Some kids would drop out because they are not performing to their expectation. But with the new curriculum, like telling a child you are meeting expectations, so I'm not expecting more than this. So you are pleased with what the child is doing. When you tell a parent that your child is doing is more than you expect or exceeds expectation, that parent feels like wow. So apart from giving the 80%, telling the parent that the child gets exceeds expectation, that's a plus, and the parents are happy. It's a matter of explaining to them and making them understand. It's not that they have failed, it's not that they are just there, but they are doing to our expectations. Yeah. To me, CBC, okay, if it's based on what we have, like the locally available things, CBC can go far. But complicating things may make it impossible to progress. Like in areas where there are no electricity and the like, and you expect to do the digital literacy and the like, that means there will be a hint somewhere which will hinder it from progressing. But if they can use the local things, like we used to do years back, we used to do art and craft then using the locally available material without the printers and the like, but we used to do it. It's only that it was not called CBC, it was under 844, but it had all the competencies that we are getting now through the CBC. So to me, I think the best thing to do is to use the locally available materials rather than purchasing everything, because when you purchase everything it will be too hard for even upcoming school like this one. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Teacher Sarah. I teach in Stemari Junior School as a teacher and a class teacher in PP2. There are a lot to be done because with 844 it was more theoretical. We had to do a lot of theory, but when CBC came, we had to change because now CBC it is more about child-centered than now 844, because 844 was teacher-centered, but now I had to prepare myself more on how to teach my children and how to be dependent. Yes, we were not given enough time, that is one, because now the ministry just come abruptly and said that we have to change and do swift. We didn't have enough time, but we are trying our best. In our school, we are well prepared and we are doing as much as we can to implement CBC. With CBC, we are not ranking because now we are not basing with more about academics. We are doing about creative and the potential in the child. For instance, a child can be maybe poor, to say, let me use that word, in something, maybe learning or writing, but that child is doing well in football or in music. So it has been a challenge to explain to the parents what to do, if this is not supposed to be done, because more so parents have not yet shifted from 844 to the CBC. But with CBC, it is doing well. It is good, and we are trying our best to make the parents understand. Yes. To me, it's the best curriculum since now the parents are getting enough time with their children. We had some complaints and we had a very hard time when we were in 844 because the parents are always, most of the time they are very busy. And thus they were not getting time even to know their children, even to understand what they are doing. They didn't know even the level their children are in. But for now with CBC, they are forced to eat. And there are that attachment and bond that they are being built between parents and the children. And thus, I can say CBC is the best because now children and the parents, they are getting enough time to bond, to talk, and also for the parent, they get even time to understand their children academically, socially, emotionally. I think it will be sustained and it will go far as long as the parents and everyone will understand it. When you understand it, it is good and it is sweet and everyone can accommodate it. But with those views, I say that I can say, or I can advise people to take concern about it. Let us learn about it. Let us be concerned what is needed, what it can be done. Yes, and with that we can go far, and even the government can be able to sustain it.
The kids also had a little bit to say.
Umesikia history ati mmechenjiwa nini yenu inaitwa CBC. Unajua CBC ni kuhusu nini?
Ana.
Unajua CBC ni kuhusu nini? Na unafanya CBC? Haya. So niambie, ukilinganisha vile mnasoma saa hii na vile mlikuwa mnasoma kitambo before mletewe CBC, gani iko better?
Kitambo.
Kitambo ndio iko better. Kwa nini?
Kwa sababu kitambo utanafika class 8 lakini hapo unafika class 6.
Unafika class 6. Wewe unataka kufika class 8.
Mimi sitaki kukaa shule sana.
Mnapangwa assignment kama gani?
Mathematics, science and technology, home science.
Mnapangwa projects,
music,
practicals. Sasa tuseme ni kama project gani umepewa ikakufurahisha sana?
Ya home science.
Gani?
Ya kuboil sweet potatoes.
Boiling sweet potatoes. Uliboil na ukazikula?
Naitwa Mlandea kwa grade 4.
Unafanyanga project kama zipi?
Kupika na kuosha. Nikilinganisha CBC nile ya kitambo nzuri. Sababu nilikuwa nataka kumalizia class 8.
Though just newly introduced, the CBC has made quite an impression on the students, teachers, and parents. The big question still remains, will this system survive and maintain its consistency? Only time will tell.